Obsession with GDP, Disregard of Nature Leading Towards Ecosystem Collapse, report.
Here's a summary of the article.
Dasgupta called on the world to ensure demands on nature do not exceed sustainable supplies by changing food production and consumption, investing in natural solutions such as restoring forests, and protecting natural habitats. Academics have spent decades attempting to put a price on nature. Dasgupta said assigning absolute monetary values to nature would be meaningless because life would simply cease to exist if it was destroyed. Securing nature is investing in our self-preservation. The report was also welcomed by Marco Lambertini, Director General of WWF International, who said its findings are clear: nature underpins our economy and our well-being. To safeguard our future, we must stop taking nature for granted as an expendable commodity, value its services, and transform our economies and finance systems so they are geared towards conserving and restoring the natural world on which we all depend. The report was not without criticism from environmental advocates, including from author and climate activist George Monbiot, who took issue with putting a price tag on nature.
This post received a score of 4,200, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Experts have been saying this for like 40 fucking years. I know, right? How hard is it to understand that you cannot have perpetual growth on a finite resource? At some point you end up consuming everything.
People insist that capitalism is obsessed with GDP, yet UK's has been stagnant for like 14 years and the UK isn't exactly a degrowth anti-capitalist economy. It's obsessed with private profit, that's what makes the pollution attractive. Chattel slavery wasn't ended by imposing a tax on slave ownership, usage. It was ended by changing property laws to not allow the ownership of human beings.
Greater than UK's has been stagnant for like 14 years and the UK isn't exactly a degrowth anti-capitalist economy. It's obsessed with private profit, that's what makes the pollution attractive. The UK's emissions have been plummeting for around 14 years, so not sure if your second point is really applicable.
Thanks to improvements in the energy sector. The rest hasn't changed much yet.
The environment is not a part of economic calculations. It's externalized and not factored in, and while this remains, we will continue to bankrupt our descendants and not value ecosystems that sustain our very life. Quite amusing that we collectively display the same intelligence, or less than that, of a mold growing on a piece of bread, and human civilization can be modeled with the same equations used to model mold growing on a single piece of bread. However, the mold will still be here, long after we're gone.
Who can afford descendants in this economy?
How much does a descendant cost on average?
$1 million from birth through college.
The entire human civilization is on suicide course unless we do some radical changes.
Did you try turning your lights off when you leave a room?
Using paper straws is more of a priority.
Don't even get me started on that bullshit. Where I am, McDonald's have swapped to paper straws, and as someone who likes to drink slowly, they're absolute crap. Just try putting paper into a liquid and see what happens. Not to mention that because of COVID, they've put the fucking things into plastic packaging to prevent them being contaminated, which just defeats the whole purpose of reducing plastic use.
Paper can work to hold liquids just fine. Ever heard of milk cartons? McDonald's picking bad straws doesn't mean that paper straws are bad.
Milk cartons work only because they are laminated with polyethylene, and that's what actually hold the liquid from seeping out. Same with McDonald's cups themselves, they are covered with a thin layer of plastic on the inside. Non-laminated paper just doesn't work like that, it falls apart in just a few minutes.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.